It's Kyle here, and today I'll be reviewing The Stars Like Dust by Isaac Asimov. This is the first book in his Galactic Empire series. I'm a huge fan of Asimov, and as a big sci-fi fan, I'm honestly kind of a little embarrassed I've never read this series. This is probably his best-known work, this series that I haven't read yet. I've read a lot of his other books and series and short stories that he's really famous for and really well known for. But I've never read this series. Like every time I thought about it, there was a few other series I was reading, and I felt like I don't really feel like taking on another series at the moment. But luckily, recently I finished a few, and I was like, now's the time to finally explore this Galactic Empire series and see what it's like. I knew I would probably enjoy it because I've honestly never really read any of Asimov's works and not enjoy it. So I was super excited to start this, and I really enjoyed this book. Very interesting characters, interesting concepts, interesting storyline, setting, everything. Like obviously Asimov is the master of sci-fi, so not really surprising that this is a really well written book that I enjoyed reading. It's also a fairly short book, so it's a book I was able to knock out and read very quickly. Actually read it while I was on a work trip, in the evenings in my hotel room after I'd finished going to a conference and stuff, and I was able to basically read it in 2 evenings while at the conference. Really enjoyed it. It was kind of a fun little read to kind of distract me from the work stuff that was going on during the day. Basic kind of plot point. I don't want to get too much details, but this is set well in the future, and we start our action on Earth. But at this point, Earth is somewhat like a little bit of a backwater planet. Humanity has settled hundreds, if not thousands, of planets. And at this point, Earth, at one point in the past, was severely damaged by nuclear war. And after that point, it kind of became no longer a major power. But it's still kind of renowned for being the home world for humanity. But our character, Byron, which I believe is how you pronounce his name, because his name is spelled Biron, so I believe that's just a sci-fi way of spelling Byron, has went back to Earth to study at a university there. And we find out very early in the book that his dad is kind of a ruler of a planet or a certain little political entity, and that his dad has been executed for treason. And now we believe Byron's life is at stake. As we learn more about kind of the political dynamics of this universe that we find ourselves in this book, there's not one galactic government. Humanity's almost spread out too far for one group to really dominate all the planets. But one specific area that's called the Nebular Kingdoms has been conquered by one planet. But kind of go back, thinking of how the Roman Empire worked. A lot of times when the Roman Empire conquered an area, they would still let the local rulers somewhat stay in place, but they ruled now at the behest of the empire. This is kind of what's happening with this Nebular Kingdom, that the planets that existed before then that had their own rulers and aristocracy are still somewhat in place. It's just now they're almost more figureheads to kind of rule and keep their local population in line at the behest of this smaller planet that has kind of developed this new military tactic that's allowed them to dominate these other planets and kind of ruling it as a dictatorship. But they're slowly chipping away at the autonomy that the planets have left, and that's kind of like what the fear is. This ruler who's executed for treason is maybe their first step in really completely getting rid of all local rule and completely dominating these planets. So Byron's kind of thrown in this world of political intrigue, assassination, as he first tries to escape Earth without being killed himself, and then trying to find allies that can help protect him, but also somewhat try to find out more what happened to his dad, if there's anything he can do to, strike back. Probably the part of the book I enjoyed the most was Byron's character development. When we first start the book, he somewhat comes across as naive, a little bit sheltered. He's shell-shocked. He doesn't really come across as that capable. But as the book goes along, I think we almost see the transition of him being from a sheltered kid to an adult who's growing into leadership, who's taking the reins, who's making honestly very smart decisions, is becoming less naive, less gullible, and is really becoming like, oh, this kid could actually be a ruler, and he knows what he's doing. And I'm very interested to see what happens with him. So we're not going to get any more of the plot because then I'll start spoiling some stuff. But this book definitely had me interested to see where the rest of this series goes. It's a 3-book series, so it should be a fairly quick series to read. I'm actually planning on hopefully reading the other books in this series this summer. I'm very excited to see where this goes. But if you're looking for a good sci-fi series to read, and maybe you've never read Isaac Asimov before, or maybe you've read Asimov and you've never read his Galactic Empire series, I would definitely highly recommend checking out The Stars Like Dust. If you like sci-fi in general and you've never read Asimov, definitely you need to read something of his. He's considered, the grand master of sci-fi. So much that we know in sci-fi today was inspired by Asimov's works. So definitely check him out. He's well worth the read. And I know I really enjoyed reading this. I'm looking forward to reading the rest of the series. So in the comment section below, let me know what is your favorite Isaac Asimov book or short story. I look forward to see what books and works of his you've enjoyed. If you enjoyed this review, please hit that like button. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate the support. Thanks for watching. I'll see you the next time, and happy reading.